Unicorn Island to flourish. Students usually spent a year at Unicorn Academy when they were 10, but sometimes they stayed longer if their unicorn needed more time to discover their magical power, or if they hadn't yet bonded with their unicorn. Bonding was the highest form of friendship, and when it happened, a lock of the student's hair would turn the same colour as their unicorn's mane. Ava couldn't help feeling a little surprised she and Star hadn't bonded already. "Do you think Ms. Primrose paired us together because we both love plants and nature?" asked Star.
"Maybe," said Ava. "Or maybe there was another reason. You never know with Ms. Primrose."
Ms. Primrose was the wise head teacher who had been in charge of the academy for many years. She was strict, but she could also be very kind. "Well, whatever her reason, I'm very glad she did," said Star. "I wonder when I'll find out what my magic power is, and when we'll bond." Ava felt a clench in her stomach. 2 of the girls from Sapphire Dorm had already bonded with their unicorns. Ava couldn't help but worry that she was doing something wrong. She knew a lot about plants and animals, but she wasn't very good at reading and writing. What if Star never found her magic power, and they never bonded because she wasn't clever enough to help her? That would be awful. Star nudged her. "Shall we go and get your plants from the greenhouse?" Ava squashed her growing anxiety.
"Aren't you forgetting something?"
she said.
"You haven't had any breakfast yet."
Star burst out laughing. "Silly me. I'm getting as forgetful as you, Ava."
"Impossible,"
Ava chuckled. She and Star went back inside the stables. Ava found a bucket and went to fill it with skyberries. But when she lifted the lid of the feed bin, she blinked in surprise.
"It's almost empty,"
she said to Star, who was watching from the doorway. She checked the other feed bins.
"They all are."
"What? That can't be. The gardeners fill the bins up with berries every day," said Star. Skyberries grew on the mountain slopes behind the school. Not only were they the unicorn's favourite food, they were full of the vitamins they needed to stay healthy, and they helped keep the unicorn's magic strong. Star came over to check, but as she put her nose into a feed bin, she knocked it over. The remaining berries spilled onto the floor.
"Star!"
exclaimed Ava. "Whoops," said Star, nudging the berries into a pile with her muzzle. "I'm sorry, Ava."
"Don't worry."
Ava scooped them up and put them back in the bin. She adored Star, but sometimes she wished she wasn't quite so clumsy.
"There are only enough berries for the unicorns to have breakfast. I'd better tell Miss Rosemary."
Miss Rosemary, the Care of Unicorns teacher, was in charge of the stables.
"Now, eat up,"
she said, filling Star's bucket with berries. Star gobbled up her berries. As she finished her last mouthful, she gave Ava a hopeful look. "Is there still time to plant out your new seedlings before breakfast?"
"If we're quick,"
said Ava. First, Ava and Star went to the potting shed to collect their gardening tools, then to the greenhouse for Ava's plants. Between them, they carried everything to Ava's small patch of garden. The spring earth was soft and easy to dig. Star made the holes, while Ava rescued the worms that got dug up, carefully moving them to a new home. Then, Ava placed each seedling into a hole and patted earth around it. Star leaned over her shoulder. The last seedling was smaller than the rest. Star accidentally nudged it with her nose, and it fell over. Poof! A tiny spark flickered next to the plant.
"Oh!"
exclaimed Ava. "Sorry, I was being clumsy again," said Star anxiously. "I didn't do any damage, did I?"
"I meant the spark."
Ava sniffed the air.
"And what's that sweet smell?"
"What smell?" Star looked mystified.
"It's gone now, but it smelt like—"
Ava shook her head.